Dolly is in the chat. Merry Christmas, darling. It's the last day of 2025. It's Happy New Year, more like that's the appropriate thing to say. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, let me try and fix this camera. It's annoying me, really. Let me just fix it because my head is gone. Not that it matters that you will see my head, okay? Okay, let's hope this is better. Happy New Year, darling. I hope you are okay and you had a good Christmas. I wasn't here at Christmas and I'm keen to forget all about my Christmas because I barely... Christmas was good, okay? Not as much fun as you would think, but it's great to have you and thank you for stopping by. What's New Year looking like for you? Happy New Year. Well, hello everybody. If it's your first time seeing me here, I am Gladys. I love cake. And over here, I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating. Today is the last day of 2025, so I decided that I was going to look like this. Oh God, I forgot. Look, don't take this too seriously because I am still recovering from sick help over the Christmas, okay? Except today I thought it's the last day of the year, 365 days, and we are here. So yes, yesterday we were here to make a banana cake, which was amazing. It's over there. I will have to put it together. But the bummer of the whole thing was that yesterday I couldn't get to cut a piece of it. So I'm back. Because if you didn't see what we did yesterday, we made the cake and then we made caramel sauce. And throughout the process, you could see me changing my mind on something I wanted to do, but was limited in terms of effort to do it. So today I'm back to baking exactly the same cake we made yesterday, except the difference is I am making a loaf pan. I'm making the cake in a loaf pan instead of as a layer cake. I am using exactly the same recipe, same method and everything else. And then when I'm done, I'm going to poke the cake and I'm going to pour some caramel sauce in it. And I'll have my final tasting of 2025. And that's it. So this is a Happy New Year reset. We are not going to go into the resolution mode because you know what? We're all excited about New Year's resolution today and tomorrow until Monday hits when it's so cold and all the plans you had about the no sugar diet, the exercise and everything, you look out in your window and you're like, oh, it's cold. I'm not doing anything. Plus, I'm a baker. So the no sugar diet, that will not be me, okay? We are here with the sugar and all, but we will add a bit of exercising, but I am not here to tell you about any resolution except we are making intentional choices to reset and to achieve better in the new year, employing some better habits. And yeah, that's why we're here today, just to finish the bake, to catch up with you. So if you're just joining us in the chat, hello there. Thank you for being here and thank you for stopping by. It's great to have you here today and such a pleasure that you are here with us. Let's just get on to the bake, okay? Let's get on it. What am I going to do? We are preheating the oven first to 160 degrees C. If you've been here, I have told you when I'm not baking, I put stuff in the oven, and there you have it. I have 2 glass bowls in there. I've got them out. Right, so let's go and bake our cake. I have, for convenience, I am employing the stand mixer, but we have 475 grams of self-raising flour. Into that I've added about 7 to 10 grams of salt. there is 300 grams of mashed banana. There's 225 grams of eggs over here. And this, we have 425 grams of sugar. Only 150 grams is muscavado sugar. The rest is granulated white sugar. And then we have 325 grams of baking spread. Lollipop is here. Lollipop, we are back with the cake. But anyway, if you're in the chat, tell us where you're joining us from and what your day has been like. It would be lovely to know. If you're meeting me for the first time, I am baking from my UK-based home kitchen. And it's been a busy day doing other things. It's just nice to be here today. Okay, so if you're just joining us, thank you for all the day ones over here. Your dollies, your lollipop, your seasons, stuff. Hello there. And yeah, all of you who left messages in my last post, yeah, I will get back to it. Okay, I disappeared yesterday and that's been life. But you know what, let's make it to 2026 with hope for change. Okay. How long have I had my my mixer? I've had it, this one, let me try and get this straight. This one would be, this is a new one, okay? This is a new one. Let me try and think. This, the one I'm using now, which is this one, I don't want to be dishonest, but I think, if my memory serves me right, the one I have right now is just about a year or a little under. You're looking at 11 months to a year. And I'll tell you why. I picked this up from last Black Friday sales or something like that last year. But when I got it, immediately after, I think a couple of weeks, when I got it, the week that it was delivered, I think it's a year. I remember that. I've had it for a year. I had it from November last year. And the story surrounding it was that if you look on the channel, I have had a K-Mix and this is my second K-Mix, right? And the first K-Mix, I created a whole video about it. I enjoyed its use and everything. It was insured. So I think about 4 years into using that K-Mix, the head broke, as in it began to make some very loud noise, and I just couldn't make it work. So because it was in warranty and was also insured, I contacted the arm of Kenwood that would be responsible for repairs. They repaired it, brought it, and the same problem persisted within the same week that the repair came. So I called them back. They took it, they tried to repair it, and same problem persisted. On the third occasion when I called them, they realized that the repair was inefficient, and so they had to replace it. So the insurance paid out on that mixer, which was a K-Mix, exactly the same one. But if you go back to previous videos, that one was the cream colored one, the one with the cream head. I created a video 18 months after I bought it with detailed experiences on how I've used it, and I loved the K-Mix. I still do, which informs why I picked this one as the replacement mixer when the insurance paid out. So obviously I just wanted to continue the experience of my K-Mix, so I bought this one when the insurance for the other one was paid out, and this was picked up last year November. But when I picked this mixer, which is this exact black one, the first week it was delivered, there was a problem with the head, which is a brand new mixer. I took it out of the box and everything, and then suddenly it almost felt as if I didn't know, I would assume that it had fallen down or something through its transportation to me. I don't know, but I called Kenwood immediately because it was a new product that was faulty. So what Kenwood did was they just replaced it. So the replacement of the new mixer is what we have. So the story is, I had an original mixer that broke after years of use. Insurance paid. I picked exactly the same mixer. within the week that the new mixer was delivered, it was faulty, so I had a replacement one. So essentially this mixer is about a year old and I'm still enjoying the use of it. I've had great experience with Kenwood, from purchase to customer service and everything else. So that's a long-winded way of saying I've had the mixer for a year and these are some of the issues I've had with it. But as a mixer, I have confidently enjoyed its use and I will always recommend it. That's it. So that's Happy New Year. Happy New Year. All of you wishing me Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Where are you joining us from? Just let us know where you are joining us from. It will be great. Dolly say my titanium XL. Ooh! I cannot handle this. Dolly, I am sorry. Ooh, she says my Kenwood titanium. Let me just get in the frame. My Kenwood titanium XL fell and broke and my insurance won't pay for it. Oh my God. Right. So the Kenwood fell, the XL titanium. Okay, I have the XL, not the titanium, but the titanium is a good one. Oh my dear. And the insurance didn't pay. Why? Because it fell. What did you tell them, honey? Did you tell them it fell down? And yes, the bowl getting stuck is a thing with the K-Mix. I discussed that in the original K-Mix video. The bowl getting stuck is a thing. Mine, I attributed to wear and tear and also how you fix the bottom. It's a fixture issue, but yes, it's a thing. Should it happen all the often? No, it shouldn't when it gets stuck. But if it gets stuck, you want to check how the plastic underneath the bowl is fixed. Because if it is loose and doesn't fix to the bowl very well, when in working motion, it kind of grinds into the base as in of the stand, and then it ends up getting stuck. It can be scary when it's stuck. That I can tell you. But I discussed that in the original Kenwood K-Mix when I bought it. It's a thing with the Kenwood glass ones. Some people have complained about how unreliable and unsafe it is as a bowl. But if you've been here, you will know I have two bowls and they work just fine. So it could be down to a preference issue. I will always recommend it because my experience has been positive, but I also don't negate the fact that it could possibly be problematic for other people. So it's a case of what you like about it. You can't always have a product that is 100% all through. But I realized that even when I got the second bowl, some subtle things have changed with how the bowl is made and some other features on it. It's neither here nor there. But I am so sorry. Wherever you're joining us from, Mary is joining us from Glasgow, Scotland. Mary, how are you? And I hope you are having a good time this evening. It's New Year's Eve. What are we doing? Well, that's enough of me. Let's just get to the cake. But if you're just joining us, tell us where you're joining us from and send us a hi. I will make time and look in the chat and acknowledge you so that we can talk some more. Okay, so let's get to the cake because ultimately we're here to make some cake. Okay, we're here to make some cake. But are we all happy to see the back of 2025? Let's see. Who is happy to see the back of 2025? To say 2025, you've been lovely, but goodbye. Let me just whew, what a day. So just make sure this is preheating just fine. You know what I'm looking for? A spatula. A spatula. Where have I put all the spatulas, Glad? There's a spatula here. Into the stand mixer we have our margarine and sugar. Let's see, why am I smiling like a Cheshire cat? There you go. Now let's go and cream this. We're creaming this for about 4 to 6 minutes. Yeah, it's neither here nor there. Seasons is saying hello, and Seasons is paying me a compliment. She's like, oh, your makeup is very beautiful. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Thank you so very much. There you go. We are creaming this very quickly. And what am I looking for? Whilst we're at it, if you're just joining us, tell us where you're joining us from and what you're doing. Do you love cakes like we do? Because a lot of us in the chat here love cake, okay? We are either running the cake business thing. We are running the cake business thing, creating content about it, sharing our passions and having fun. Or we just love the subject of cake and want to engage as part of the community. One is not better than the other. It's great to have you. So just tell us where you're joining us from. Oh, look at you people. It's 31st. You guys are making me feel so good. Mary and Steph and Dolly and Lollipop and all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I was just going to spout out. You know what? Look, have you ever wanted to have so much fun and yet you have a nasty cough that will just not let you be great? That's me right here. I want to scream and shout, but every time I do that, I feel like I have to heave because I have this cough that will just not let me be great. Okay? That's it. Because I'm not about to cough over you people. Let's go and cream this. It's fine, Lollipop. Oh, right. There is our friend from, is it Deborah? Deborah from Kentucky. There is Mary from Glasgow. There is Lollipop from England. I know where Lollipop is. Lollipop, hi. There is Steph, our friend in the US. There is Dolly in her village over there. Dolly, come and take a seat here. So what happened to the titanium? Have you just ditched it? I'm so heartbroken for you. How long did you have the titanium before it fell? What am I making? Jody, we are making a banana cake. A simple banana cake, but we're going to pour some caramel, some muscavado caramel that has brandy sauce in it. We made it yesterday. I was just bummed I couldn't taste the cake yesterday, so I'm back to do a repeat so I can eat a cake and then close off the new year. That's essentially why we're here. But besides the baking, we're doing a New Year's reset. Like, the year is over. It's the last day of the year. Whatever fell along the way, whatever didn't happen, whatever we survived, we're still here, okay? We are hopeful for 2026, but we're not going to say that out loud, okay? We're just going to try and reset and be happy and just hold each other gradually and make it to the next year. That's So Mary is asking, where am I from? I live in England now, don't I? I've lived here. I am essentially the fabric of the place, but originally I'm Ghanaian, okay? I come from Ghana, West Africa. Now, whilst I am mouthing off, let's go and cream. Let's go and clear the bottom of this. But yeah, our friends from around the world, if you are just joining us, there is 7 of us. 7, can you imagine 7 of us at a dinner table? Okay, we're sitting here just having a drink, having fun. Just think about your imaginary drink. Whatever you like, just get it. Okay, I am a tea drinker, but before I started the live, I had a coffee because it's going to be a long night, okay? Don't tell my mom. It's going to be a good one, okay? Jody lives in Maine. Okay. Jody, thank you for stopping by. Now, while you're telling us where you are joining us from, which is fun, tell us a bit about yourself. Do you love cakes? Are you just a creative, or doom scrolling brought you here? Look, if doom scrolling brought you here, you're welcome. We love you nonetheless, okay? Because we doom scroll too, we do, okay? So thank you for stopping by. Now, we are going to put the eggs in, but before we do that, we're going to try and lower this, and the eggs are mixed in slowly. Lollipop says, that's how I found Gladys in the first place. You were busy doom scrolling, and it must have been the best doom scrolling decision you ever made, right? Because now you and I get to hang out. Okay. Deborah says, I love to bake. Oh, wow. Okay. What is the one thing what has your baking experience? This is Deborah. I hope I got the name right. Sometimes the names are so long in the chat, it's hard to kind of get it. So I kind of guesstimate it. I apologize if I'm wrong on so many levels. But Deborah, what has been your baking experience of 2025? Because you hear people say, I love to bake, but then it's either something they've done in the previous past, or it's just an idea that they enjoy baking, which could also mean they are living vicariously through their favorite baker and say, oh, I love this, or they are actually making the effort of baking. So what's been your 2025 baking experience? Tell us about it. Look, we are friends over here. If you don't even stick around, we just want your experience today with us to be memorable, okay? So tell us. And if you're in the chat, Lollipop is saying, yeah, the best doom scrolling decision she ever made. Yeah, because you know what? Doom scrolling will have you going places. But we're going to... Mary says, I'm 75, I love to bake, and I bake for the church. Mary, you are our person, because if you've been here, we bake for the church too. I go to a local church, and the number of times I've showed up here and made cakes for the church. I mean, I'm a business, but I also love making cakes just for the sake of giving it away. And it's always nice to share it in church. So thank you, Mary, for sharing that. Does that mean today you are going to church? Mary, we are nosy people here. I will ask the question. We hope you will feel safe to answer, but it's okay if you don't want to answer. I take it you're going to church. This cough will not make me great, but it's okay. Goop, is it Goop? Let me just call you Goop. Do I teach cake making? Honey, here's a question back to you. What do you think? Of course I do. My whole purpose of being on this channel is to teach you how to bake, okay? I do. let's get this in. The whole point of being on the lives, look, it's been an incredible year doing so many baking things here. But the goal obviously is to teach you to bake. So we come here and we do, look, I do all the raw things. Look, the cake has fallen apart right here. I have tasted the cake and thrown my toys out of the pram. Things, my cups have broken right in this kitchen because my kitchen is a very small space. And you have seen me literally like losing my head. And it's all part of the baking process. Baking is not the perfection that you think it is. Baking is a hell of a mess, okay? Because some days when you come and you want to organize the ingredients, my people, those who have been here know. So Goop, that's the answer for you. Okay, there's a question in the chat for me. What is my favorite thing to do? Oh, Deborah says, I wish I have found this before. Now look, it's the best time to find me was, let's just say, a year ago, and the next best time is now. So honey, don't beat yourself. There's always a time and a place for something to happen, and we are happy to have you, even if it starts today, okay? For your journey, if you want to find out more about baking, the lives are very real over here. And I have spoken intentionally about the reason why I create the lives. And the lives are to bring you a very unfiltered, unvarnished process of the baking process. Because baking is precision cooking. Like, you have to be precise. There are some baking... Look, you're seeing it. Can you? Yeah, I don't make these up, okay? Let me just put that away, okay? And wash my hands and get this and put those in, and I'll sit down with a cup of tea, answer your questions. We'll make this an interactive session, and when we're done, I'll say love you and leave you and goodbye, good day, and it will be a happy new year, and I'll see you on the next one in 2026 when we'll still be jigging to cake, okay? Just let me wash my hands. Okay. Do I feel like I'm exhausted? Not with you, okay? Not with you. Okay, all right. Goop is from India, joining us from India, and there is Iman. Happy New Year from Indonesia. Oh, people, Happy New Year. I know some people in different parts of our world have already entered the new year. Australia, I'm thinking about you. Our friends in Australia, some of them may have seen the new year already. Am I crazy? Who has already entered 2026? Wherever you're joining us from, if your timeline has already crossed midnight, just come let us know. We are interested, okay? Come let us know, my darling. It is good fun. So if you are just joining us and wondering what exactly we're doing, we're making a banana cake, but it's a loaf. Like, as in, I make the point of distinguishing between a banana cake and a banana bread. This is a cake baked in a bread pan, because the difference between a bread and a cake is based on the ingredients ratio and the amount of liquid. This is very high ratio, which is high sugar with a less fat, and the only moisture enhancing ingredient here is the banana. We don't have any more liquids. Whereas if we were making a banana bread, which is somewhat a quick bread under the umbrella of muffin type cakes, that's very different. I say all that to say, if you're not crazy about cakes like I do, the difference is neither here nor there. When you, all you know is that there's something with the banana in, and they all taste good and they're all rich. The difference though is that a banana cake is a cake with banana, crushed banana in it, which then derives a very light textured cake-like cake, if you like. Whereas the bread is more doughy and heavier and has more moisture and is tighter in crumb. That's just a crazy woman out on the internet talking about cakes that most people don't even care about, okay? But anyway, what am I doing? I am just baking the banana cake in a loaf pan just for convenience. That's all. The reason why I'm doing that is just for convenience. And I think it's important I make the difference so that that's something you will learn if you didn't know before. But that is just a little bit of information, because if it's your first time over here and you are one of those people, right, who scrolls on the internet and you're like, oh, come on, can she cut to it? You're on the wrong channel. We are long-winded over here, okay? One thing will take us 10 minutes to explain, but there's intention behind the explaining. Because one thing the thing that brought me on YouTube as a creator was the thing that I do that may not be your thing, which is that we are long-winded, we over-explain stuff, and we give you more information than you need. Not to overwhelm you, but to actually teach you intention, to teach you skill, and to empower you with more knowledge so that you can make choices around it. So for instance, if you're just stopping by the channel, you will find out in the previous channels that when I come to bake a cake and I'm talking about recipes, I don't just, unless the recipe is one that I have repeated over and over, so the baking session is an opportunity to interact with you, I make a point of talking you through my ingredient choices, what informs my choices, and then I give you my baking goal. Okay, because if you're a beginner baker and you have so much not identified your basic goal for every baking session, you're probably going to get stuck as a beginner for a very long time, because baking is a broad subject. Are you baking cakes? Are you baking muffins? Are you baking bread? Are you baking cookies? And if you're somebody who enjoys the wider spectrum of baking, it is always important for you to understand what your favorite creator or tutor is doing. And there are creators on the channel who do that better than I do, and there are bakers who are far more advanced in their knowledge and experience. But as an immigrant Black African Ghanaian baker, I have a unique experience to bring to you about cakes, and that is because as a Ghanaian, I didn't grow up with the same appreciation or mouthfeel for sweet cakes, like overwhelmingly sweet cakes. I didn't. So there's a cultural value here that I bring to cakes, which I hope you understand and is empowered by. So every cake, even as a business, every cake is made with intention, which is that I take a customer's preference. Like, you would never call me and be like, I want a cake and there's a box standard cake sitting in the fridge waiting for you. That never happens. Maybe that will change in 2026. I don't know. But the point is, my love for cake stems from wanting to understand what specifically appeals to you. So if you call me and you're like, I love a good cake, but I don't want it to be too sweet, I'm like, right on the boat, let's get to the other side. And that's what I do. And so that intention sort of lives in every live session you will see, unless otherwise stated, right? It lives. So I'm giving you ingredients, I'm telling you the quantities, and as a beginner, I live for you. I come here to give you adaptable recipes, and if you pay attention, you'll find that my recipes have a very specific tone to them, which is that the base is still the same, because I want you to be able to pick a recipe, make subtle changes, and not be overwhelmed by that. So that is just a little like value proposition to you if you're just meeting me for the first time. I am sure if you stick around, you will make friends in the chat. You are not just here for the baking, you know. You are also here for the community spirit and for the fun we have and for the support we give each other. We talk about real life issues, okay? If you're on the internet and all you want to do is just scroll on by and not be deep, good for you. We are deep people over here. That is just by the way, okay? That's just by the way. Let's just get this out of the way. Let me just, but whilst we're at it, I did ask if you could tell us where you're joining us from, a question some of you have answered. And yeah, what you're doing. Some of you are bakers, some people love to bake. And Mary has told us, Mary from Scotland, she bakes for the church, which is amazing. Mary, we love you. Now, here at the bake. I've just done this. I've not filled it up because with the cake, it's likely to rise. So one good tip, for me to have a very light textured, even topped bake, I'm going to put some water. I'm going to put some water at the base of the oven. And leave this in. Now we'll look at the time. It's it's 4 minutes to 8. So let's say 8 o'clock, right? So we are looking at 50 minutes to an hour. It shouldn't take that long because the quantity in there is not that much. But at 160 degrees C with the water at the base, which will then reduce the baking temperature, we should aim for 50 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to go back in there, and Jody said, you make good videos. Thank you, my darling. That is very kind of you to say. Deborah says, do you have this recipe posted? No, but I'll give you the details. If any of you in the chat can put these details in the comment section, I'll give you every information. I mentioned the recipe in the at the start of the live. I baked the exact same cake yesterday. I'll show you. I baked the exact same cake. Here it is. They are layer cakes, which I'm going to put together. But because this is a layer cake that is going towards a different cause, I thought I couldn't taste it. Normally, one of the features of our sessions is that we make the cake and then we taste it and then you get to see. Because one of the reasons why I make the lives, I'm just going to take a seat so I can talk to you. You have me for the next hour until the cake is baked, and then we'll taste it and then we'll be done. Okay? So if you have your baking questions, put them in the chat. Put them in the chat and I will answer them for you. Okay? I'm going to sit down. Lollipop has still got dinner to make. It's 31st. Why aren't you getting a takeaway? I would be getting a takeaway. That's just a suggestion, by the way. I just realized that I didn't prep for first tomorrow. So I don't have any goodies or anything except for some of my leftover Christmas presents. Did I say we are not doing a resolution? Yeah, I'm trying to reset. So I'm trying to not do certain things, but that is neither here nor there. Right. So let me give you the recipe details before I go off on a tangent. So the ingredients include 300. Somebody put it in the chat for me, please. Somebody put it in the chat. We have 325 grams of baking spread. Alternatively, you can use butter, or you can use your substitute margarine, okay? Margarine, butter, or baking spread. There are 3 different fat choices, but they will work the same. The result differs slightly in that, look, let me not go on a tangent. Let's stay here. 325 grams of baking fat, okay? You can use margarine or butter. Oh, God. And then there is 425 grams of sugar. The sugar is granulated, a mix of both granulated white sugar and muscavado sugar. The muscavado sugar weighs 150 grams of the total, and the rest is granulated white sugar. The intention for the muscavado sugar is to bring flavor, flavor intensity, and enhance the texture, bring complexity without overpowering the cake. It blends very well with the banana. And in other recipes, you will find, instead of muscovado sugar, you will find dark brown sugar or light brown. Now, all these 3 things, light brown. Did I say I was giving you the recipe? Okay, I'm kind of tempted to give you all the information. So let me give you the details and then I will tell you the intention. I discussed it in yesterday's recipe video, and it's a recipe that I have repeated time and again. I'm just sometimes like tempted to not skim over the information. So stay with me if I feel like I'm battling with myself. So we have 150 grams of muscovado sugar, and the rest of the 425 quantity being granulated white sugar. And then we have 2 tablespoonfuls of vanilla. If you noticed, I didn't put the vanilla. I forgot. It's a real thing. For a banana cake, it should make no difference, but vanilla adds an optional flavor there. So 2 full tablespoonfuls should do the trick for the quantity we have here. There is 300 grams of crushed banana and 225 grams of eggs. These are like 4 large eggs, but they are deshelled. So anything between 190 to 225, that should be fine. And then we have 425 grams of self-raising flour. Self-raising flour comes with rising agent already produced with it, so it eliminates having to use any baking powder. But if you're in a country where you can't find self-raising flour and you have to make your own, it's the same quantity of flour, which is plain all-purpose or plain white flour, with a half and 3/4 of a teaspoonful of baking powder. Bear in mind, I'm talking baking powder, not baking soda. They're 2 different things. And then there's a pinch of salt. The pinch is not exactly a pinch. You're looking at 7 to 10 grams of salt. But if you don't mind, you can stick with 5 grams. I am making all this adjustment with this information for you so that you understand that the recipe is adaptable. So you can tweak things around if you want, and it still will derive you a great cake. So let's go back to the subject of margarine, butter, or baking spread. Margarine, I will say baking spread and margarine are sort of cousins, if you like. The difference is that margarine is optimized with a level of moisture in it that helps the bake, right? But baking spread is high level fat that is derived and optimized for baking results. In terms of taste and flavor, it is a little bit like bland, if you like. So adding your vanilla, or for a cake like banana cake, which is naturally going to be flavored by the intensity of the banana, will give you your best result. So you ain't got to worry about the fat choice there. But say if this was a vanilla cake that I was making, opting for baking spreads against butter is actually, it's a thing of choice and preference, if you like. Butter is always going to remain very superior to all the other choices, but it has its place and use in the baking process. Butter comes with, is superior in its flavor, but in terms of your structure and crumb integrity, butter sort of is a bit tricky, if you like, because butter will set at room temperature, which means you're going to derive a more tighter and thicker crumb. That doesn't mean your cake in itself is dense. It is just that by understanding how butter works, you are able to then make different informed choices. So for me personally, I like my cake crumb delicate, but still with some structure to it. So my recipes are optimized to derive both, because if you're not as crazy as I am about cakes, cakes are not all the same. Not all cakes are the same. Some cakes, after you've finished baking them and you set them at room temperature, they settle and you have a hard, crumbly textured thing that doesn't work well. And sometimes they dry out and you have to add sugar, syrup, and that. If you've been here enough, you will know that I don't even try any of that, the sugar syrup and that, because the recipe is optimized with moisture enhancing properties at the base of it. So for this recipe, the intention for baking spread instead of margarine or butter is because it has such high amount of moisture, which is about 300 grams of banana, which is crushed banana. The intention is to keep the crumb light, and so the baking spread does its job here, but I don't compromise on flavor because the banana will do that and the muscovado sugar will help. Now let's talk about the difference between muscovado sugar. Let's talk about the difference between muscovado sugar and brown, dark brown or light brown. They are all on the profile of sugar options that intensify moisture, bring intensify texture, add moisture, and enhance flavor in a complex way, but they're not the same. This is how simply I think about muscovado sugar and dark brown sugar. Muscovado sugar is partly processed sugar that retains molasses in it, so it's sort of not fully processed, because sugar goes through different processes to become from the sugar cane or sugar beets to become the white sugar that you see. And the white sugar is like the last of the processing, if you like. So white is super processed, whereas on the spectrum of brown and other variations of the brown sugar, muscovado is very intense because it is only partly processed, so it retains its natural properties, which enhances flavor, complexity, and texture to your cake. Now, dark brown sugar functions similar to muscovado sugar, but with a slight difference, because dark brown sugar is your processed white sugar that just has molasses added. So to kind of confuse you more than not needed, I think of muscovado sugar and dark brown sugar as the guy who left a wife only to go and marry a girlfriend and pretend that the girlfriend should behave like the wife. Do you catch the analogy here? Okay, so think of muscovado sugar as the wife. So if you forgo muscovado sugar only to employ dark brown sugar, you just want to make the side chick the wife, you might as well just stick with the wife. But it's not a one-to-one. Muscovado sugar is very intense, and for that, the intensity and flavor option can be too hard for other people to kind of savor. So perhaps a subtle outcome is why anyone will settle for dark brown sugar. But after using muscovado sugar, I don't care for dark brown sugar anymore. Like, I'm like, what is that? But that's a preference issue. Now, if you find both dark brown and muscovado sugar too intense for you, your best next option will be light brown sugar. That's it. What else am I telling you about? The banana, as in the crushed banana. I intentionally didn't blend the banana. The banana I spoke about yesterday, it's overly ripe banana that is just crushed with a fork. And that is important because when you crush it with a fork, even though it's still loose and runny, it is not that liquidy. If you're tempted to blend it, you are increasing the water or the liquid properties in it, and it will get runny. And that, if not balanced well with the other ingredients, will lead to a doughy cake because of the high level of moisture in there. So, have I given you enough information about the recipe? Let's look in the chat and see if we got everything right over there. Yep. Mary got this one. Mary, thank you for that. Mary, we sincerely appreciate you. And did I miss anything? Okay. Oh, Deborah was saying thank you. You missed the beginning. It's fine. Don't worry. I think I missed some of the things in the chat. And some of you who said hi. Francine. If Francine is still here, hello. And if you're still in the chat, all you new people, and even all of you who have always been here, Steph and the crew, thank you for stopping by. Now, let's talk your 2025. Look, if you leave me here by myself, I could be talking to a dark room about cakes, okay? Deborah, it's fine. You are so welcome. If you leave me here, I will talk to a dark room about cakes and everything else in between. But then again, we were talking, it's Deborah, right? You said you enjoy baking, and I was asking what your baking experience for 2025 has been like. If you don't mind sharing. And the rest of you, there is like 11 of us in the chat, okay? All 11 of us. Can we talk about our 2025 baking experience? My baking experience for 2025 has been, it has actually exceeded my own expectation. not, yeah, it has, because I remember same time last year, if you go back you'll see same time last year I filmed a vlog for the Christmas season, I believe. Was it last year? The year has gone by so quickly, I don't even know. Okay, but yeah, last year same time I filmed a vlog, and you would have seen my Christmas activity over the Christmas and the pre-new year period. So some of those vlogs came out earlier in the year, like in the January season, when you would see what I was doing, which was kind of fun. What I didn't do though was that I didn't set myself up for huge, like, I just felt like, look, if you love the thing enough and you are committed to showing up for it, it should be okay. And by just approaching the channels that way, I challenged myself in ways that I didn't think was possible. For instance, if you've been here, you'll find that my commitment to the live was like haphazard. Like, I was very non-committal. And I spoke about that earlier in the year before I made the changes, because the lives are such that they are not pre-recorded. I try to bring you a very real experience of my being here from my home kitchen and inviting you into the raw moments of the baking process. And so before I really got into and committed full on to a certain number of days, the lives only happened when I was available, if you like. So it was kind of like unstructured, haphazard, and unexpected. Okay, so if I could and I was here, great. If I wasn't, it's like nothing to lose. But that wasn't intentional. That was because I had so many things happening. And then as the lives got on, and thanks to your feedback, a lot of you, your feedback was such that you actually enjoyed the raw moments of the live sessions and the interactions. I thought, okay, let me just up the ante and give you what you want. So I committed to the lives 3 days a week. We started with a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and where possible we had extra days, and where I had so much to do, I would increase the number of lives per day. So the base minimum was about 3 lives a week, which started sometime, I think, just before February, I believe, and then that would continue. So we went through the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday up until the summer, when the Thursdays became difficult because of some other commitments. So I moved to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we had a Friday, and that continued. And by the end of the year, which is almost like the end of the year, a few changes happened. So we went back to the haphazard nature of it. But here's what I learned. I learned that communicating with you and sharing my own struggles with the journey of being a creator was something you people really, really appreciated and supported me, to the point where I wasn't insecure anymore when I wasn't here. Because as a creator who really enjoys what I do, and when you build a community like we have, it comes with the responsibility of making sure that you satisfy the value proposition that you have created a channel for. Essentially, we're a cake making channel, and if I wasn't here teaching you about cake and committing to actually driving the value, then why would you be here, right? But I also realized that my humanity and just wanting to be honest in a very succinct way, like, there is nothing, I'm not, like, the point I'm trying to make is that we are not trauma dumping over here. Like, if I wanted to do that, well, I'll call my therapist, okay? But there is a space here for safety and humanity and respect with boundaries. And that has been such a realization that I sincerely appreciate, because the internet can be such a dark place, okay? And for that, if you're a creator like myself who still wants to be able to share the honest parts of my life where it intersects with cake, okay, whilst also maintaining my own healthy boundaries, it can be awfully difficult, Because we've had the internet kind of go into meltdown because a certain creator decided not to share some things that they believe are personal to them. Whilst I have nothing against any of such choices, context matters. I do understand the part where creators inadvertently and perhaps unintentionally monetize themselves, their stories, and their lives as a means of income. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know, okay? I just do not feel comfortable doing that because there is nothing about my life that I want to monetize because it's such a tricky boundary to keep. What am I going to tell you about my life? That I am a mom whose relationship has ended and I'm navigating motherhood. If you're as old as I am, you'll find that that journey can come with a little bit of difficulty because change in life can be difficult to manage, and doing so without the proper boundaries can actually harm you than improve your intention, if you like. So for me, 2025, the bottom line is that I have come to accept that there is a safe place on this internet for me to share what I love to do, to create a healthy community, to encourage the conversation about what needs to be done, whilst also just going on about my life. And that has been such a blessing for 2025. And that's also thanks to you being here and being so understanding of me. That is just by the way. Well, Lollipop made a panda cake. If you see me smiling in the distance, it's because my son is kind of like...
Yeah. Right.
You took his thing away on the back. It's because I tied it.
I attached it at the front.
Okay. I do it at the back so he can... Yeah, it's fine.
He can. He has. All right. Danny's going to go and get some food before work.
Okay.
I'll wait for your text what time you guys wake up, yeah?
Okay.
Love you, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Have a nice evening, you guys.
Okay, you too. Do you want to say goodbye? Okay. We'll let you know.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just waiting for you guys anyway.
Okay. Have a lovely evening.
I'm going to eat and sleep. Alright, buddy, you be good, yeah? Go on, don't eat your feet get cold.
Mary, we'll see you soon. Take care and thanks for stopping by with us.
Alright. See you tomorrow, buddy. Love you.
Lollipop asking about the pets. Turns out, after talking to you guys yesterday, I went to see the pets, the cockroaches. I haven't held them, but I've seen them, okay? What is wrong with you? You cockroach older, okay? You owner of a cockroach. But anyway, if you're in the chat, well, that was a long-winded way of summarizing my 2025, which was a little more than I expected. And I know 2026 is going to be a good one. I'm not one of those people who is sitting here with a pen and a paper like, let's structure this. I have things I know I want to do and I've started planning for them. But instead of like shouting about it on top of the mountain, I am probably going to do, can you not do that, please? Can you go put that back down, darling? Okay? Yeah?
What do you mean? I'm just doing it.
Okay.
Yes.
Just make sure Just make sure you don't lose it. That's all. All right then. Can you go and sit down for me, please?
Oh, why? They pull me down a lot.
Lollipop, you had a what? Bearded dragon.
I know what a bearded dragon is.
What is that?
It's an animal. It's an animal. I saw it at the reptile shop.
Okay, let's see. Bearded dragon. Let's see.
It's like a chameleon and a lizard combined, but it's got like a beard on. It looks really funny. Can you see the bearded dragon now?
Oh yeah, I can. He wasn't lying. It does look like a lizard.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous, doesn't it? With a beard.
It does look ridiculous. Okay.
I've seen it and it looks incredibly ridiculous.
Okay, that's fine. I kind of get your choice of words, which is very adulty.
Well, then not, because I've used it a lot of the time.
Have you?
Like, I saw something that was incredibly stupid.
What was that?
Like, in a game, when you lose, the person that made you lose just walks like this and back and back and then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bira is asking, what content do I make? Bira, I am a cake maker. I make cake-based content. And right now, the only reason I'm sat here seemingly not doing anything is because the cake we came to bake is...
Is there any way to take, like, this
Please
off?
don't take it out. Please, leave it
Is
as
there
is.
any way to take this off?
No, it's because it's in the plastic. It's supposed to protect it. So please don't take it out. Be careful, though. They are heavy. Okay? Where are you? Come here.
I'm here.
Come here. Here.
I want you to ask them a question.
What question do you want to ask them?
Give this. Ask them, is this a person or a vehicle?
Here.
Is it just a car or is
Yeah.
it a person?
Well, if they don't get the answer right, would you want to come and unveil it so that they will know it's not a car?
No, you can.
Okay. Well, people, I've got a question from the little producer for you. The little producer had this thing as a Christmas present. Seems like the little producer has an urge to share his presents with you, because yesterday he got us sharing his book, and today he says I should show this to you. And here's a question for you. Do you think this is just a car, or it could be something else? And if this could be something else, what could it be? That is a question for you. So I've showed them, so we'll wait and see. So we'll wait and see what questions they have. Okay, Lollipop says, I'm going to say it's a transformer car. Well, only someone in the inner circle will know. Okay, Dolly says it's a Lego car which can be made into a different thing. Well, seems like Dolly and Lollipop are onto something. Okay, so do you, at least you've got it. So do you want to transform it and bring it back?
Well, yeah, bring it back.
Okay, so yeah, here's the answer here. There you go. You can have this. Be careful though. You can. So, Lollipop, you're right. It's a transformer car. What character of transformer is it?
It's not a character. It's just... yeah.
Okay. Is it not like one of those things like... I know it's not Optimus.
It doesn't have a name or anything. Okay. It's just a transformer.
It's just a transformer. Okay, go
just a normal, regular transformer.
Okay. I have...
No, before I'm not going to transform it. I want to see if you can.
No, I can't. You know what I'm
Try
like?
it.
No, I don't want to break it, sir. I don't want to
I'll give you a clue on how to break it.
Okay.
No, what?
Okay.
What? I meant
So what do I do?
transform it.
Okay. people, this is our new year. I have a challenge now. Like, okay, sir, I think you should take it because we are discussing.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, go do it and bring it back.
No, I'll do it right here. So if you need anything.
Yep, it's a transformer. And
of course it is. You've said that a million times.
Dolly, 2025. How was baking? What was your baking experience? And do you feel that what is the one thing that you think you achieved in 2025? And what are you leaving in 2025 and hopeful for in 2026? So here's the question again. And it's not just directed at Dolly. It's just because Dolly is in the chat. And Lollipop, I know about your baking experiences and what you get up to. So, Dolly, what has been your baking experience of 2025? And what has been the one surprising thing you achieved in 2025? We'll wait and see. The little producer is okay. All right. So it's transformed now. All right. Okay. So the transformer car. Okay. That's the transformer here. Okay. That's the gun. I need to. Okay. So here, so that I don't.
It's not one of those like guns that like shoots like little stick looking things.
You know how you tell me I'm clumsy? It's okay. I don't want to be clumsy. Here. You can have it. There you go. Thank you. All right. Can we...
Now what do we do?
Yeah.
That was the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. You can go and finish up with your dash or something. And then when I finish, I will come and see you.
Well, I was thinking of something else.
What were you thinking?
Actually, I don't remember what I was thinking.
Okay, go and watch Dash then. Here. Let's go.
Wait, there's some in the pack, right?
I think it's nearly finished, but you can have it all if you want. There you go.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. I don't want it.
Well, if you really do not want it...
It's fine.
Okay.
Do you want
do you
some
not
water?
Like it?
No, you know I don't like sweets. Yeah, have fun. Love you. Right.
No, don't forget the watermelon.
No, not watermelon. Okay. Right. So Dolly says, what I'm leaving in 2025 is bad and rude customers. And people telling me what prices I need to charge for my cakes. Is that not every cake maker's dream though? Dolly, you are not alone. Just for your reassurance. We will all want to not have bad customers because it's not like you go out of your way to invite them, okay? And the part where people tell you what to charge, it's almost like it's a given in the industry, especially if part of your marketing outlet is social media. It's like people just feel like they're entitled to come and tell you what they think. So for your reassurance, you are not alone on that basis. But here is what I want. What is your exact experience with this subject? Like, have you had how many bad customers? Like, if you think about it, is it one? Is it about 3 people? Like, what has shaped this exact thing that you want to leave in 2025? Because the truth is, I don't suppose that you went and sought out bad customers. Customers show up nonetheless, right? And until they bargain your prices or do the thing that is not your value, that is not in line with your value as a business owner, you never know who is walking through your door. And the challenge as a business is to always welcome every and anybody with open arms until they act out and you'll be like, okay. So what has been your exact experience in terms of the bad customers? Has it been a recurring thing or is just a stated few, but it has been so impactful? And the part that people are telling you how to charge, is it the customers? Is it just the people in your comment section? or it is the people in your circle who don't understand what you do. I'm just interested, just so that I can pass you some tips if necessary. That's all, if you don't mind sharing. Okay. Okay, so Dolly says, in 2026, I'll be advertising more and challenging myself with difficult cakes like the gravity cakes. Okay, so Dolly said about 5 people. Oh, 5 people is a lot, okay? That works out. If, okay, let's add an imaginary one, considering that we are in December, okay? December is over. So if we tallied the 5 people over 11 months, that is a customer every 2 months. That's a lot. We don't want that. We don't want that, especially for a custom cake business, because it's not like you are churning cakes out. So I see why that is impactful for you to not want to take to 2026, but you are not alone. Just to reassure you, it's not so much that you're doing something wrong to have bad customers. So just be reassured that you're not alone, and bad customers show up everywhere. Okay? Stay there. So she says, I'll be advertising more and taking on difficult cakes like the gravity one. About 5 people, and they tell me, okay, and they tell me M&S is selling at a price. Okay, sis, I think, did I see that on your TikTok? I could be wrong, because I am such a doom scroller on TikTok. And some days I have this terrible habit of dipping my foot in TikTok and then going back to be a passerby. I love YouTube, but I think I saw that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw that on your TikTok where somebody told you about how M&S has the cake or something. And you were asking, correct me, or put the proper context if I've kind of misinforming this context. But essentially, you were asking on TikTok what you were supposed to say to them, or you were trying to find out whether your response to them was right or wrong. Am I correct? Because I just want you to confirm that, and then I will tell you what I really wanted to tell you, but I couldn't put it in the comment because it was going to be long. And that day I was in one of those spaces where it's like, I'm not over here chatting on TikTok. But I remembered it, and I really wanted to tell you about it. Okay, right. So Dolly, I'm correct. So let's reframe this and take this as like a session handing you some real tips about how to handle customers. Okay, here's the thing, Dolly. Customers will do what customers want to do. You have to rise above it. So managing customers and your expectation, managing customer expectation and maintaining your value as a business owner comes with confidence and self-assurance, which falls under the umbrella of your own psychology and belief system. Okay? And I know that's very complex, but this whole thing of running a business, my dear, it is not what it's made out to be. You could never go and find a coaching program or a mentorship program that will hand you the exact experience of becoming this amazing business owner who can handle everything. Okay, what mentoring and coaching and all of these courses will teach you is a blueprint of how, okay, let me take this back. It's a blueprint of idealizing all these things in a structured manner to inform how you can deal with them. But ultimately, how you deal with each case comes with your own confidence, belief system. And if you do not feel confident sometimes addressing things head on, it will live in your business, it will take a lot out of you, and eventually you will quit. So sis, you don't owe that person who came to your comment section and said to you that they want to go. Look, The moment they enter the chat with M&S, exit. You have nothing to say to them. I'm telling you, you have nothing to say to them. And in fact, if you so much have something to say to them, right, and you're panicking, I'm going to give you the confident person and the less confident person. If you have just started baking, right, and I know you are a little more advanced, by the way, but like the whole idea of dealing with customers, it's a psychology thing. If you are desperate to get their business, so desperate, in fact, all you care about is the money they are going to pay you, which somehow validates your experience of being this artist, you are always going to feel scared of confronting customers who deliberately or unintentionally disrespect you. Okay? And that's on you. I'm just being real with you. If your goal is to just get that business from them, okay, those disrespectful customers will keep coming. The difference though is, if you feel confident and assured, your decision is this. I want to make a cake. I know my cake. I know my product. I recognize it's not for everybody. And so when you proceed that I recognize it's not for everybody, you operate with knowing that you are going to lose the money. What does that look like? That looks like the business may not be viable in the immediate time. You will not get the livable income in the immediate time. But you know what will pay you forward in the future? Consistency and a strong value system for delivering a consistent, good quality product that you charge at a rate that is not for everybody. It's that simple. So are you essentially inviting people to come and disrespect you? No, that's not your fault. But it will become your problem if you don't address those issues properly. So for instance, the customer who, the moment they say to you, oh, like I'm trying to even think about the part of the conversation where they have room to come and tell you about M&S. Because essentially, if you're established and your communication is deriving them a price point and summarizing the idea of a cake design either by text or by visual sketch, right? They understand what they are getting. You have already proposed what they are getting. You have described and confirmed that to them. They should come back to you with, okay, I'll go ahead with it, or they ghost you, which is fine. But in between, I don't know what back and forth you're having with them that they come back to you and tell you that, oh, M&S. I want to understand that. I'm not saying that's your problem. I'm just saying that there's a part of you that makes them feel comfortable enough to tell you that. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so, okay, right. The person, right, let me see the context. So the person said, I want a Victoria sponge with jam and Swiss meringue buttercream to feed 24. And I gave her my price. And they said M&S is selling it at 75. So I said, go and buy it from them. And they'll go and buy it from them, and they will not give you the custom. Dolly. Here's what's true. There's a way to tell someone go and buy it from them without saying it, but establishing, because what you've done, you have said the obvious, which is okay, but there's also a way you can tell a customer to go somewhere where the intention is not redirecting them, because they knew you and M&S were not the same people before. Why am I getting mad? I am getting mad because, you know what, I'm not mad at you, but you and I know that cake making is not easy. And the thing that grinds my goat is our industry has almost accepted the idea of an artist being disrespected willy-nilly. And the sad truth is that we allow it. We do. Me included. Like 10 years ago, I would be you. And so because I am not that person anymore, I know how that belief system has come to be, and I understand why that belief system is continuously enabled, which drives down the value of what we provide for customers. So my intention here is not coming at you, Dolly. I just want to say, I don't believe you did anything wrong, but I think you have to master the way you enforce or put a stamp of credibility on your business so that you can command the respect that you deserve from what you put out. And that's all in the way you communicate. If you text a customer or you send them a message, let's break down the communication here, right? And we could get into the weeds of who this character is. And I think if I make a few assumptions, I could be right about the character. And the character is one of us, and I mean that as one of us. If I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong, right? It's one of us, as in culturally, we are kind of like familiar with that person, and that person doesn't have an understanding of what service and art looks like, okay? But they saw that Dolly makes cake, and somebody recommended Dolly, or they ate a cake from Dolly, a cake, so their friend or family member ordered your cake, and they think, oh, I can have this too. Except they never bothered to ask their family member how much the cake cost and what went into it. And they think that a cake to serve 24 people should be okay from M&S. And yet you're a home baker. Like, okay. So Dolly says, but do you know, she later accepted my price and gave me the best review ever on my Facebook page and said, clearly, whatever you told them, you did right. So let's leave it there. I would be interested in knowing how much they paid for this cake, for which they came back raving about the review. But, I mean, people who are always quick to tell you M&S makes cake do not understand the differences between cake. And that's not on them. That's not on them. As cake artists and cake makers, it is our responsibility to also inform customers so that it drives some form of education and understanding about the subject matter of cakes. So it goes both ways. We cannot be mad. If I didn't make cakes, I would be the same person thinking, why is this expensive? A typical example for me was, I remember way back when I wanted to get a website built. I had no clue what website cost. I knew there could be expensive things, but with all the advert on Wix and Squarespace telling you could build your own website, not that I could. I remember calling a business, a website sort of building business. And you know how much they quoted me for a box standard website with just some information on it? $4,000. And I remember like going, when I had $4,000, like I wanted the earth to open for me to literally disappear. I was like, what? Eventually I found someone to do it for a quarter of that price, but that came with some innate problems that I will fix later. The lesson is, if I had $4,000 to pay, would I have paid it? Maybe. Okay. But at the time, I didn't know what websites were about, and I didn't know they were that expensive. Come to find out, the $4,000 was even like a minimum cost for like a functioning, high-level sort of website, business-focused website, if you like. The point is, we have all, at some point in our lives and choices, come into proximity with something that we didn't know would cost more than we perceived it to be. So we can't always be angry at the customer for trying to bargain for themselves and drive down value for their own needs. We cannot. But as cake makers, we can't always be just set on, especially if you get the advantage of creating content. You cannot just be set on wanting to sell a cake. There has to be an informative value to why. That's not necessarily saying you have to justify your prices, but creating a visual story of why a customer should come to you is now more accessible than previous. Do you see what I'm saying? So I say all of that right. I say all of that to say there's always room to inform. Dolly says the website is very expensive, she says, and it's taking you. You know what, Dolly? Let's just say I do not have the same patience. If I can just outsource it, I'm out of here. Because the truth is, you can't be any and everything. You can't. Okay? You can't be any and everything. But I use the website example as an example for seeing it from the customer's point of view. The customer who thinks that your cakes are too expensive and that they could go to M&S. That's because this customer really probably more so, in fact, do not understand cakes. Because a person who really appreciates and understands cakes is not even going to sell you short like that. They come to you because they know what you are giving them. So it's neither here nor there. But for the fact that you told them to go to M&S, and however you ended up making them a cake and then they're raving about you, I guess the problem solved itself. So hopefully they have now tasted a great tasting cake, and so they should be able to match the price to the experience and not compare you to M&S. That's all. Deborah said, I wish I could make really good cakes. I'm going to go for this in 2026. Deborah, you're welcome. We wish you well. More so, we wish you stick around and tell us more about your experience as you go along this journey. We are here. We are actually here. And I mean it when I say we are here to support you every step of the way. Set achievable goals about what you intend to do. Narrow it down to your baking options, whether it's cakes or muffins or bread, whatever you want to bake. Focus on the one thing you can do. Set your mind on not besides the one thing. Make sure you you identify your own skill set, what you enjoy in the baking process. Because as a newbie baker, everything about baking can be exhilarating about what you enjoy. If it's the experience of the ingredients and the curiosity of putting them together, or sometimes the pace of the baking process and the end result of something so benign and very simple and common like flour, and then this amazing cake. All of these things can be exciting, but find out your sweet spot, what you enjoy about baking. Sometimes people make the mistake of confusing the experience of baking, which is a science-based subject and action, to decorating. Decorating is an art form. It requires imagination. It requires readapting your own thoughts about what you want to achieve. And there's no right or wrong. There is a rule set that you have to follow to probably make a well-structured, stable, standing, well-presented cake. But the design itself is neither here nor there. The design of a cake and what you enjoy about the decorating experience is an art form that you have to identify what you enjoy. So I come back to the subject of find your sweet spot, define the two things, the science and the art, which you enjoy. If you enjoy decorating, don't bother yourself about baking. If baking is not something you really enjoy, but you enjoy the art of decorating, go to Costco, pick yourself a red velvet cake or any of the box standard cakes. Costco cakes are good, okay? They are not custom, but their carrot cake and red velvet is a thing. I love that. Just saying. So if you like decorating, don't go through the hassle of trying to bake a cake for the sake of. Skip to the good part. Go to Costco, get yourself a box standard tray cake, and enjoy the process of turning that cake into something beautiful. Now, when you master the foundations of making the art that you enjoy, if you master that, you can then come back and take up the science. Because the thing is, when you're starting something new, you want to avoid friction. The friction of, oh, I gotta make this cake. I don't care for it. I don't, right? So when you're starting, find the thing you enjoy. And if you enjoy the decorating aspect, skip to the good part. But if you enjoy baking, which is the science, figure out what you enjoy about the baking product and your outcome. Most people confuse knowing how to bake a good cake with how a cake has to be presented. They are two different things. You can bake a good cake, a good brownie, a good biscuit, a good muffin, and set it up on a family table with just a little bit of imagination and ideation, and everybody will remember the experience of how great tasting the cake is. Nobody will care. Have you ever heard, oh, the cake we saw at the wedding stood so tall, and that's all they ever think about? No. They remember the cake at the wedding was so tall until they ate it and it was rubbish. And they're like, oh, that wedding cake stood so tall, but it was hella bad, right? And the same for the cake that stands so tall, but it's good. What people remember is the eating experience. Nobody cares about how the cake is presented except us, the cake makers and decorators, because that's our job. So if you're starting the journey of baking and decorating and you enjoy baking, focus on a good recipe. And when I say a good recipe, you're looking for a recipe that can turn around in various forms. So one recipe that can go from a layer cake to a loaf cake to cupcakes without much friction. If you can do that, you're in for success. But Deborah, if you haven't figured out, I could give you tips all day over here. And none you will remember, because by the time you finish, there's so much. So good luck. Stick around, and hopefully 2026 should see you achieve some success in what you want to do. Come back, tell us, and ask questions in the chat. We are your come talk to us. That's all. The cake's done. Lollipop, I'm checking. It's done. Okay, right. Something I didn't do, I need to do it now. And I mean now. Now. Yeah. I'm just going to put, whilst we're at it, I'm just going to put some of the caramel here. And then I'm going to right, and whilst we're at it, okay, so the cakes are baked. As you can see, we have 2 muffins. Okay, and I'm just going to keep one whole over here, and then for the other one, see, it's come out all nice. So what I am doing is I am poking into it so that we can put the caramel. Dolly has just put something in the chat. I should go and see that, but you know what? This will not work, so I am just using a straw so that the holes are much bigger for me. I did think about going for some ice cream, and then I realized I didn't want to be that irresponsible person. Okay, caramel. We're going to pour the caramel, yeah, in there. I am only doing this because yesterday I couldn't taste the cake. But I told you before, go and get, if you make this cake, right, go and get yourself cardboard, ice cream with the salted caramel chunky pieces in it. Lollipop. Lollipop, be responsible. Drink the caramel through the straw. That would be a dangerous undertaking because the caramel is hella hot. Okay? I'm not trying to go into the new year with a bent thumb. Okay? Anyway, there you go. Let's... This is hella good. Okay. Now, I don't know if it would have been a good idea to take the cake out first before trying to cut it, but it's neither here nor there. We're going to get the thing out, okay? Because the promise was to come and eat cake. And boy, eat cake, look. Okay. That cake. This is the torturous part, that I get to eat the cake and you are just having to watch. Listen, I told you we're making a banana cake. So can you see, if I lift this part up, what you are seeing is a crumbly, soft textured cake instead of a crumb that holds tight. If I had opted for the bread, as in banana loaf, banana bread recipe, which would have less moisture and less sugar, you will have a tighter crumb and hard, denser crumb. But this is lighter. Let me just pour the caramel on it anyway. Now I am mad I didn't get the ice cream because I'm like, why? Dolly, I'm just going to eat my cake and just leave you and the neighbors over there. People, the only reason I haven't finished eating this cake is because I am annoyed I didn't add the ice cream. That's all. But the cake itself, go try it yourself. We've had this conversation. I get to taste, and on days where I taste my own cake and it's not great, I will tell you. But it's 2025, the last day of it. That's a good banana cake, okay? I've made it into layered cakes here, which will be like, sometimes making a cake like this and then filling it with buttercream, for me, it's an overkill, because then it becomes overwhelming. So I don't know if it's worth the effort for me at this point. I might end up freezing the layers until there's a chance to do something very rustic and basic. Yeah. But a cake like this doesn't need decorating. Whether you're baking it as cupcakes. If you bake it as cupcakes, you probably want to top it off with my cheat style cream cheese topping, which kind of brings a little bit of tartness and cancels out the sweetness of it. But the cake itself, great. I'm not complaining. You can go and try the recipe and let the neighbors queue at the front door and have fun at my expense. Let's see what I'm missing over here. Lollipop telling me to drink the caramel through the straw. That is just wild, Lollipop. Lollipop is letting her intrusive thoughts run wild out here in this marketplace, okay? And Dolly says, I booked a cake today for April, and I sent the price list, and she never said a word, and she paid the deposit. She said she's eating my cake from a friend. It was lovely. Those are the customers you need in your life, darling, okay? Them 5 people telling you about your prices, and just leave that in 2025. That's okay. What am I? If I make the cake, oh, if you make Lollipop, Dolly says, if I make this cake, my neighbors will be queuing up. That's what I want for you. I want your neighbors to come queuing and love you and shout about your cakes so that you can make a big business out of it. That I actually want that for you. So good luck. Lollipop is eating some Christmas pudding. Okay. Are you pouring brandy sauce on the Christmas pudding? I'll be honest, I don't like Christmas pudding. I don't like Christmas pudding. But I tried it this Christmas and I still don't like it. But a sticky toffee tart and some double cream, you need to whip up with powdered sugar. Oh, good for you. Lollipop, remember me when you're eating that. And your Dolly, your neighbors bringing cakes to your house to come and bake with you, though. You must have the loveliest neighbors ever. Well, for me, you know my neighbors. You know Albert, our little friend. What do I say to you, my people? 2025 has been amazing to all of us. I am intensely and eternally grateful for your support, your loyalty, sticking around here, showing up for me and everything else. May 2026 bring us more joy, okay? More cakes, better customers, better baking experiences, and everything else in between, okay? Lollipop says, no, not brandy sauce. I only got a pudding for one. And I'm sharing it with the husband, right? So, yeah, I can't wait to see you in 2026. Let's hope for the best. Let's stay in touch with each other. And let's keep the community as positive and growing as always. Thank you for the love and support. Here's to the next one and all the best. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.